Everyone has two certainties in life, death and taxes. For business owners, there are three certainties in life, death, taxes, and business succession. I'm Paul Savage of Pacific Business Brokers, and in this segment, I'm going to be discussing succession planning and the key question of handing your business over to your children or other family members. To begin, I have two key points. One, transferring your business to the next generation is rarely the best alternative for you, your wealth, your legacy, and your family. Key point number two, from a business transaction point of view, we recommend you take the same approach to selling your business to a family member as you would use in selling your business to a stranger. Consider the family member as a buyer, not like other buyers. Giving up control of the business you've built is very difficult. It's even harder giving up control when a family member is the buyer. Can you accept that the next generation will be in full control of your life's work? And how likely is it that your influence involvement will truly end in this situation? One of the advantages to selling to an arm's length buyer is that there is a clean and clear end of your involvement with the business. Your goal of retirement and getting out of the business will be met with an arm's length buyer. Now, let's consider some primary criteria for family member buyers: capability, commitment, and interest. There's no real number one priority in that list. Everything is important. Capability addresses the question of whether they have the skills and experience to do what will be required to make the business succeed. Think of this: if you were hiring someone to be CEO, how would your family member compare? Assuming the family member is capable, does he or she want the business, and are they interested and passionate about it? I expect that driving growth in your business is challenging, just as it is for everyone else. Your family member will have to bring energy, determination, and enthusiasm to the business to keep it the success it is and to drive it to new heights. And how committed to the business will he or she be? Is he or she used to working the kind of hours that will be required? We sometimes assume that the next generation wants to step in, but maybe they don't. Have a frank discussion with them. It may be hard for them to let you know they don't want to continue with your dream. Have the conversation. Placing the business in the hands of a family member who is lacking in any of the criteria is very risky, and it is highly likely the business will suffer and decline and perhaps even fail. The ramifications are serious, and it's not just about money. When the business suffers, relationships in the family will be changed. The family could be hurt, bitter, full of resentment, and who knows what else. Other families will be hurt too. Employees may lose jobs with the obvious impacts. Oh, and don't discount the notion that the family might want you to go back into the business to right the ship and get it on course. A potential short retirement could be looming. The financial considerations are important too. Assuming you provided seller financing that when the business is struggling, you may very well be asked to forgive or delay promised payments. Delaying or forgiving payments will impact your retirement security and cause friction within the family. An additional consideration is a struggling business may be unable to provide adequate income to the family member buyer, placing the next generation in financial difficulty. The bottom line is, if the business is transferred to a family member, the impact of the business not doing well will be much greater than if the business is sold to an arm's length buyer. How does your family get along? And what is the state of relationships? In considering transferring the business to a member or to multiple family members, the family dynamic and relationships will be impacted in some way. You will face an especially interesting challenge if two or more family members meet the criteria. At that point, you'll have a dilemma. Can the business be run by joint CEOs? Could you have built your business by committee? I anticipate you'll need to choose. Well, that puts a new spin on sibling rivalry. There are probably key employees in your company. The family members may or may not have a relationship with these employees. Or perhaps they have a relationship, but it's not a good one. If the employees are likely to leave the business once a family member buyer step in, then selling to an arm's length buyer is strongly recommended. Whether you sell your business to a family member or an arm's length buyer, getting professional, unbiased valuation of the business is critical. That's where we can help. We do valuations of all types of businesses of all sizes, and we're unbiased. The outcome of your valuation is the most probable selling price of your business. This is where things get very interesting. Do your family members have the resources to buy you out at fair market? Oftentimes, there aren't enough financial resources to provide the retiring owner the market price. There becomes a dilemma for you and within the entire family. If there aren't enough resources in the form of equity, perhaps the buyers can get financing from banks or other lenders. But be wary, maybe they're borrowing more money than is safe for the business and for themselves. Also, perhaps the buyers want good old mom and dad to provide seller financing at levels that exceed what may occur in an arm's length transaction, with mom and dad's retirement capital still committed in the business. Perhaps the buyers want good old mom and dad not to sell it, but hey, how about just a good old-fashioned gift? A transfer, even if it is a gift, occurs at fair market value as it relates to income taxes, and a gift situation must be handled carefully. It would be a shame to give your business to the next generation and then have to pay cash to Canada Revenue Agency for income taxes on a capital gain. In other words, it could cost you money to go into retirement. Consult a tax specialist before considering a gift of your business. Evaluation will understand what the true meaning of that gift is. An additional point on gifting. Gifting reduces your wealth, and that could have an impact on your retirement security. It would also impact the potential inheritance of family members not involved with the transaction. This implies you need to assess your estate planning when considering a gift. It may also create jealousy and tension among family members, so consider relationships too. Here's a question for you. Is your business your legacy, or is your legacy really what you've done with your family and the lifestyle and wealth that comes from your business? This is an important consideration. Linking wealth to legacy suggests maximizing and preserving your wealth is an essential part of your legacy. This impacts who you sell your business to and at what price and what terms. Also, it implies selling your business at the highest price at the optimum terms and selling at market prices with little or no risky seller financing. Selling to family members who lack commitment, passion, and resources to run the business puts the family members' financial health at risk. As they are your legacy, this is putting your legacy at risk. Essentially, preserving your legacy for your wealth and family points clearly to selling to an arm's length buyer. It may be better for the family both in human terms and in financial terms. So let's consider what an arm's length buyer scenario means for you. 1, there is a clean end to your involvement with the business. Subject to a transition period, you truly exit the business. 2, it's easier to negotiate a business transaction that is best for you with only your business needs driving the negotiations. 3, you get the greatest financial wealth possible, providing the greatest financial security possible. 4, the likelihood of having to return to the business is essentially non-existent. 5, if the business subsequently declines or fails without you, it won't cause damage to you or anyone in your family. Number 6, family members are treated equally, minimizing any reason for resentment or jealousy. The superior alternative for most business owners is to sell their business to an arm's length buyer, not to a family member. If you would like to speak more on this topic, please contact me, Paul Savage, at Pacific Business Brokers.